So I'm hanging out here with Mike, and we're going to answer some questions. One question that we've both been asked pertains to how to deal with a relationship, especially a new one when you're trying to train. And so, like, a lot of people have sent me questions. I know there's some questions too about, like, when you get into a new relationship and the girlfriend's wanting you to hang out with her all the time, or the boyfriend's wanting you to hang out with him all the time, and they're pulling you away from training. How do you balance that? How do you balance the relationship, you know, in the beginning, especially in the beginning because it's so exciting, and keep your training habits alive? I'll go first, since mine will probably be the most long-winded of the two. My students, I see this all the time, and I ran into it when I was a blue belt because I got into my first big relationship, and then when I was there, it's new, everything's fun and exciting, and I was hanging out with the girl, and I was a brand new blue belt, got a case of the blue belt blues, started hanging out with the girl all the time, and then about a month and a half into it, 2 months later, I started to the relationship kind of came down from that super high of the newness and sort of came down to some sort of sense of normalcy. And then at that point, I started to train again, get back to my normal routine, which was I was training 5 days a week. And then she started to freak out. And so she was like, "What's wrong? Well, what's wrong with you? Why are you training so much?" And I told her, I was like, "I've always trained this much." And she was like, "Not since you met me." And so my advice to you is, if you get into a new relationship, as much as exciting as it is, as much as you want to spend time with that person, spread it out a little bit and keep your training habits alive, because if you don't, you're going to run into a lot of friction when you go back to training like you were before. Okay, so just don't do it. We got Mike.
If your partner or your significant other tells you to take time off from training, or you feel the need to take time off from training, they most likely are cheating on you, or they're going to cheat on you. So, yeah, it's honest.
It's honest.
No one should make you quit something you love.
I'll say this, there is some truth to it. So every girl that I've ever been with that has made a hubbub about training and wanted me to not train and wanted me to take time away from it, we never lasted. We always broke up because eventually there was friction. And typically what I've seen from my students is when that starts, it's like a precedent where they do that, where the boyfriend or girlfriend takes that one thing away from you, and then they just keep whittling down until they basically just I'm done.
See, Nick explained it more passionately what I said. But that's correct. That's what I was saying. But it is a little bit meaner.
Well, I wasn't thinking of it that way. But then when you said it, I was like, you know what? Every relationship I've ever been in where they made a fuss about training, actually, that's what happened. Every one of them actually, they either cheated on me or, again, the relationship became such a mess that you just didn't.
No one should make you quit something you love or something you're passionate about. Because if I love someone and I'm supportive, I support what they do, be it martial arts, be it art, whatever it is they do, I'm going to support 100% and be behind them. So if I like going to train jiu-jitsu, they should be behind that. It should not be an issue. It should be, yes, make time for your loved ones. I'm not saying that you should not make time for your loved ones. But if it comes to me or that,
if they're giving you
an ultimatum.
And if you're someone that's watching this and you have a significant other that trains jiu-jitsu and you're like, God, they get on my nerves, they go train, and when they come home they're wanting to watch YouTube videos of this Chewy guy or this Mr. Jiu-Jitsu guy about jiu-jitsu, whatever it is, right? And you're getting annoyed by it, understand that probably you've noticed that when they go train and you give them that space to let them do their own thing, they come back to you and they're so much happier about it because you gave them their thing, you allowed them to go do their thing. So when they come back to you, they're gonna be like, whatever you wanna do, you wanna go hiking, you wanna go shopping, you wanna go sit and watch a movie, you wanna go do this, that, whatever, I'm cool with it because you let me do my thing.
I agree with that 100%.
Mike, I got a question from a guy who says that his coach is basically pushing the gym gis on him. So he's at a gym where basically you have to wear our gym gis with all of our patches and all this stuff, and he said that they can only be one color. And so what do you think about that? He's wondering, he feels like it might be McDojo, or he just gets a little frustrated with it, he's wondering if he should just simply accept it.
You know what? If you've been training there for a while and you like the coach, you like your teammates, if you feel connected with that gym, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think it should be a deal breaker where, if you're thinking of leaving a gym just over a gi, I'm sure there's underlying other facts there that are probably pushing the issue. A gi with a gym you like, with a coach you like, I don't think you should force your students to where, it's, something that comes to money like that, I don't think it should be forced on students. But if that's what the coach wants, or if that's how the affiliation is set up, I don't see nothing wrong with it. As long as you really like being there, if you're 50-50 about being at that school, then it's probably more than the gi, and I think it goes beyond that question. But I don't think it's that big of a deal. If you like the coach, if you like your your partners, the other students there, I don't see a big deal.
I agree with that, and
I don't think a gi is going to break you.
The gi's not going to break it because, like he's saying, if you're so down with whatever your coach is doing, you're so excited about it, you're going to want to buy the gi. And for me, like, again, I don't push the gis on anybody. I don't push my patches on anybody. But a lot of the students, they buy the gis that we sell, and they buy the patches that we sell. And to me, it comes down to being on a team. You know what I mean? Like, because again, like, it's just, you're part of the team. And so if you're so into it, you're so into what you're doing, you should be proud to wear the patches that your team has to, put on there. You know what I mean? You should be like, yeah, I'm a part of this. This is what I'm a part of, and I'm excited to be a part of this. My coach is awesome. My training partners are awesome, and I want to rep it, and I want to support them.
But now, if your coach is asking $500 for a gi, maybe it is a McDojo. Maybe it is a McDojo.
It's $500.
Yeah,
or like, $100.
If it's a normal price for a gi between $75 to $125, that's normal. Now, if it's anything over that, you might want to do a little more investigating.
Be mindful. So the next question we got is about cross training. So again, this one comes up all the time. Some people are against it, some people are for it, and we've been asked from different people about, what our thoughts are on cross training with other gyms, in and outside the area, and that kind of thing. And you want to go first? Let me go first.
I'll go. Okay. The thing with cross training, I believe it's a healthy part of your martial art growth. But there are rules with it, and I think that a white belt should be guided by a higher belt if they're going to cross train. I don't think someone that just started jiu-jitsu should go cross train just because they're not ready. They're not ready for what another school's going to throw at them. Some schools, believe it or not, will try to fish another student from another academy. It happens, unfortunately. It's shady, but it happens. Students just don't understand the basics of jiu-jitsu, so I don't think they're ready for cross train. I think once you have 6 months of training, I think it's okay to go cross train with another gym. There's an etiquette you should follow. I think if you go to another gym, be respectful, ask them what their rules are, tell them that you are currently with another gym. I think you should make that known.
Yeah,
as soon as you go to another gym, you are with another gym. You're not here to, you don't want to know about their deals, you don't want to sign a contract, you don't know what they offer, you're just here for usually they have an open mat.
Yeah.
You're just there to cross train, you want to cross train and meet other martial arts, you're strictly there for that. You don't want to know anything else, just that. You just want to meet other people, you're just there to cross train. I think you should keep your mouth shut about inner workings at your personal gym. You should not talk about personal gossip. Anything that's happening at your gym should be, just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
You're just there to cross train, and I think it's a healthy thing as long as you do it, respectfully, and you let the other gyms know that you are part of another gym.
Yeah.
I think it's very respectful to your coach to let them know I'm under this person, this is who I'm under, and I'm just here to cross train.
Yeah. And I would talk to your coach and let them know your thoughts about that you're going to go to cross train. Just like, again, my students, they know I don't care, but they give me a heads up. They're like, hey man, I'm going to go train at this gym, whatever. And it's a nice consideration, right? And the thing that I would say, especially like getting into sort of the idea of, when you are training at a gym, there's serious value to consistent training partners, consistent working with a coach who knows you. You don't want to be the guys, because I've met plenty of them where they gym hop, right? They're at one gym for a little bit, and then there's a flavor of the week. They go over here, and they go over here, they go over here, and those dudes that do that, I've seen them, they've been training for as long as I have in some cases, and they're like a fraction of the skill or the development that I am, right? I've just seen it, there were guys that started when Chad was starting, and again, they did the same thing. They hopped around, and they're not anywhere close to where Chad is. And so there's definitely a value to consistent teaching and training, so that when you're working with your coach, they get to know you, and they get to know what your game has, and they get to make little tweaks and adjustments to your game. And then, like you say, and once you train for a little bit, I know I didn't cross train with anybody in any other gym until about 8 months in. I started going to other gyms just to see what I had, right, and see what they did, and that kind of gave me a feel for some of the things that I did well and some of the things that I needed to work on compared to other gyms. And as far as etiquette goes, because that's when I get how should you roll at another gym? Let them dictate the pace, right? You shouldn't go to another gym with the mindset that I'm going to crush everyone, right? That's not what you're there for. You're there to meet other martial artists. You're there to meet other people inside the community. You're there to just see what others little rocks you can turn over to see what else is there, right, in jiu-jitsu. And so don't go in there with the mindset, I'm trying to kill everyone. Now, if they start coming at you and they start rolling hard, well, then you roll hard. I've been to gyms where it's been both ways, where they're really relaxed, a little bit flowy, so I'll go flowy. I'll go to other gyms where they're out there ready to kill. I'll have to go at that pace. And but I like what Mike had to say too. So.
Which is why it's not good for a new student to go to an open mat. I think there should be at least
Because they probably don't have that.
at least 3 months. 3 months of learning the basics. Learn what a guard is. Learn what a what a takedown is. You have to learn what to expect from someone else. What is an armbar? How do you just the basics? A choke coming. I think all those things are very important for a new student. And I just think it's a good chance to get injured if you don't know what's coming at an open mat. So it's
right. Well, and also because the mindset, because if you go to another gym, you're going to be like way more like amped up and ready to go. And so if you don't have the basic knowledge of the fundamentals, like you said, you'll be more likely to get injured.
And the other thing, believe it or not, I know a lot of people don't want to talk about, but there is gym poaching. There is such a thing as gym poaching, and people will try to poach a newer student. They'll see a white belt, and a white belt, without realizing, it might say something. Without even realizing, might say, we don't do that at my gym.
Right.
We don't do that. I like to do that. And that is a chance for a shady instructor to hear that little word and get that hook and put him in him. And it's not because the white belt's a bad person, or as they say, Creonte back in the day. It's just that they don't know any better. So they just feel like, a poacher black belt can pick up on little things like that. We don't do that at my gym. Well, come here, we do this at my gym. We train every day. We do this and that.
You're missing out.
And he'll find that little thing and he'll catch you. And
now, the one thing I will say with the gym poaching, or sort of on that subject, is if you're a coach and watching this, remember, again, you're in. To me, I said this to a guy one time who was becoming a coach. You're kind of in the service industry, man. You are serving people that are in there, and you always have to keep that in mind, because sometimes I've seen relationships with coaches where the coach is, there's a back and forth cycle. The student comes in, they give their loyalty, they give their attention, they give their gym dues, right, to this person in this gym, and then in turn the instructor is then supposed to give back, that teaching, and then we do the cycle, we do this back and forth. And then I see in some cases where the instructor stops giving back. Because we've had people that have come to this gym that, and their reasoning for it was like, I didn't feel like they were truly invested in me, and it wasn't like, and there were a lot of nasty situations that happened where, again, I never came to them and say, hey, you need to come here. They came to me, and because they were like, I just don't want this anymore. And so understand that if you are a coach and you're watching this, remember your job when these people come in there, man, like they're in here for like an hour or 2 hours, whatever you got them for. You shouldn't be like, I see this all the time, like you go to the gyms and someone's fucking around on their phone texting. You shouldn't be texting. You got these people for an hour. Be with them, be on the mats with them, help them out as much as possible, and understand that they're not your own, they don't belong to you. And so if you really want to keep them and you don't want them to go other places and you don't want to like make them go to those other gyms and leave you, right, then you need to make sure you're giving them 100% of yourself, so this way they go back and they give you 100% of their self, and we just go back and forth.
Don't be a shady instructor. Mr. Jiu-Jitsu is watching.
Cool, yeah.
That was awesome.
All right, that was fun.